Picture this. You're listening to an album you really enjoy, but this time you don't skip that song. You know the one. The one you always skip, and you think to yourself, what have I been missing out on this whole time? The feeling of connecting with the song you were only kind of into is unmatched. Well, let's talk about a game that I believe deserves another listen. One that places heart and soul over industry standards and excels at delivering on an experience that will definitely stay in my heart for years to come. Let's talk about No Straight Roads. No Straight Roads hits the ground running as we're introduced immediately to our star players. Bombastic guitarist Mayday and the self-possessed drummer Zook make up indie rock duo Bunkbed Junction. The two live in Vinyl City, a thriving metropolis which gets its energy from music and is governed by a record label named NSR. The stage is set, and with nothing but instruments and goodwill in hand, Bunkbed Junction set out to audition for a part to give back to the city heralded as the music capital of the world. Unfortunately, they're unanimously rejected as rock is no longer relevant and EDM marches on as the main source of energy for the city. It's at this point I assumed I knew exactly how things would pan out. Mayday and Zoo get upset and they begin tackling NSR for throwing them out, but it took me by surprise at how well the dichotomy of these characters work, as Zook's level-headedness reigns in Mayday's hot-blooded demeanor, and the two go on to reflect about their night, assuming that they just weren't up to par. That is, until Tatiana, in a vulgar display of power, outright bans rock from Vinyl City. What's more, it's revealed that NSR is actually struggling to produce enough energy to power the entire city and ration out what little energy they do have only to districts in which NSR-affiliated artists have dominion over. Outraged by this, and with NSR in their sights, Bunkbed Junction begin their rock revolution to bring equality back to the people.
It's time we fight for fairness, for the people of Vinyl City. We fight for the little guys! Zook, come here. Put your hand next to mine.
Huh? Okay.
What are you doing? Just hold up your pinky finger.
Oh, like this?
Now, put your hand next to mine. No, the other side.
Oh, okay.
A bit more to the right. No, my right.
But I was moving to your right.
No, you're just... never mind. Move left.
Like this?
More. Left. Yahoo! For the little guys.
Right out of the gate, the game is teeming with so much life and energy, man. Look at this. You hear that? This theme sounds like, yeah. And the way the NPCs move to the beat of the song? Nice. The screens displaying in the central plaza changing to match the next artist you're set to take down is also a nice touch. In general, each hub area is fairly linear with few divergent paths that lead to more goodies like mini quazzas, collectible stickers that give you passive bonuses when equipped, and fan art sprawled all throughout the city to replace your guitar case art with. It's a great way to connect with the fans and such a neat idea that I just wanted to collect all of them just to make sure no artist was left unappreciated. Wow, they even have a nice cameo from Unbeatable. Look at that! Gameplay is somewhat simple with enough variance as you progress to keep things fresh. Enemies attack on beat and with variable timing depending on what type of enemy it is, and it's easy to follow what's happening on screen. But let me give it to you straight. This game is not a spectacle fighter like Devil May Cry with a music motif. It is its own game and it needs to be met where it's at. It is a rhythm game first and an action game second. If you run straight in and start attacking with reckless abandon, you get punished for it. It slows you down and it throws you off your groove like any good rhythm game should. So take your time, relax, enjoy the sounds while you look for the moments and... Wait, it kind of sounds like I'm clearing a chart with these movements now. Hold on. Oh, I feel it. Same way I feel the thoughtful UX decision to these approach stages. The way it slowly introduces more difficulty in enemies as it also brings in a more involved beat the deeper you go. No Straight Roads is teaching you how to play in a much more engaging way than this. Or this. I'm glad we don't do this anymore. All while building up anticipation for the boss, which, to be honest, this game is more of a boss rush anyway, as the stages leading up to them aren't worth replaying, and the bosses themselves are designed to be played with modifiers on them. Think of the bosses as charts in a more traditional rhythm game. And man, does this game know how to do these encounters right. The way the bosses are presented to you feels like something out of Scott Pilgrim, each one brimming with personality and flavor that keep every interaction feeling just as evergreen as the last. I mean, look at him! DJ Subatomic Supernova, the larger-than-life and never self-important cosmic DJ with his deep disco?
NSR's dominance over Vinyl City ends today.
NSR? Maybe. My music, highly unlikely.
Or the Vocaloid Sayu that's portrayed as a mech controlled by 4 creative teenagers and her drum and bass. There's no wonder why there's so much fan art for these characters, I just can't get enough of them and their themes. Speaking of themes, I love the way the fights shift between the multiple recorded tracks based on performance. Instead of just missing notes and having the track break for a few seconds at a time like in Guitar Hero, No Straight Road shifts between a rock and an EDM version of the main track as you progress through it, and it does so ever so seamlessly. Check out this one from the neoclassical dubstep fight against Yinu. Oh, and since we're here talking about the music and the music action game finally, let's talk about the theme back at home base and its sonically rich wonders. Yes, we live in the sewers, okay? We're working class heroes to the masses, so of course we do. There's a couple of interesting gimmicks with this track. First off, it's set to check which room of the HQ you're in at the end of the 8th bar, and will change to a new variant based on the room. Also, when you beat the bosses of this game, you get these decorations, and at first I thought they were just little collectibles that made for a small diegetic peek into the current progression of the story. That is, until I listened a little bit more closely. You see, each of these decorations actually adds a 2-beat rhythmic pattern that fires off once every 4 bars within a fixed point in the overall 8-bar track, ranging from record scratches from DJ Subatomic to mouse clicks from Sayu, you know, because she's the digital idol. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Getting back to the characters, I was surprised at how well fleshed out they turn out to be. Both musically and creatively expressive, there was always another curtain to pull back for each character, revealing a little bit more than I was expecting. Like DK West, Zook's brother and antagonist to the revolutionary cause.
Missy, namaku DK West. Ewa, ritma bayang super guy. Ewa, dulu dan kini hebat selamanya. Ewa. Dan satu lagi, aku pun sebenarnya Zook punya.
Oh, brother.
Exactly, Zook's big brother. Salam perkenalan. Awak ni mesti Mayday.
The conversations in Malay between the siblings do well in not just characterizing the two, but is also a neat way to include the culture of No Straight Roads' developers Metronomic into the game as well. Founded by Final Fantasy XV lead game designer Juan Esmir and concept artist for Street Fighter V, Daim Xiaoding, Metronomic equipped themselves with about 20 people being fresh graduates or those who are new to the industry. This decision was probably one made from budget and necessity, but is also one that helped make No Straight Roads every bit of the gem that it is, because Yeah, if you take one look at this game, it's clear to see that it doesn't have the AAA development level of polish, and there have been a few instances of glitchy behavior, but therein lies the beauty of this title. Because what you can't sell up front in graphics or big budget, No Straight Roads is made up for in its presentation and soul. Everything from the stylized menus to the upbeat landscape has a certain je ne sais quoi to it. A labor of love, if you will. With character designs that remind me of Psychonauts and gameplay that moves about like a Prime-era GameCube or PS2 title, it's clear to see that there's still a place for style and substance in the conversation. And no, this isn't a commentary against big-budget games of the day, but you know, there's going to be plenty of people talking about the new God of War, so they don't really need another voice praising its merits. No, I'd rather shine a bit of light onto a game that resonated deeply with me, and reminded me that sometimes you get caught up in your own beliefs, and you need to take a step back and realize that the stage doesn't just belong to you. Everyone plays music for their own reasons. Some do it for self-importance, some do it to bond with their loved ones, and some do it to understand their purpose in life. The important part is that there are no wrong answers. As long as we remain respectful to each other, we can create a world where creativity has no boundaries. So, whether you're into jamming to fun music, want a more streamlined experience, or just love fighting for the little guys, go ahead and check out No Straight Roads. That's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one.